Welcome back to my healing rooms. I'm here with Kathleen at Lockett Meadows Farm. Again, it's such a magical place because the animals are free and they're seen, and Kathleen's going to tell us ways in which we can realize that there's always ways to communicate with them. Enjoy.
Thank you, Barbara. It's funny, just a few minutes ago Barbara was saying that nobody ever talks to her, and the truth is that animals are talking to us all the time. They're always talking to us. And if we don't hear them, it's shame on us. It's not that hard to do. I had stopped paying attention to my voices when I was young because I felt like I was such an oddity. And the truth is that I am, and that's fine. And as I grew up, I learned that it was okay. I think I stopped listening to animals between the ages of 4 and 5. And when I was 14, I really needed to hear. We had a missing kitten, and I needed to listen again. And I had to reteach myself how to hear them. And the simplest way that I can tell you how to tune into what animals are trying to say is you have to create empty space in your head to actually hear them. They won't necessarily speak in voices. They will speak to you most of the time. It's like running a little video, and the more you relax, the easier it is to see. The first time that I needed to hear these voices again to find this kitten, which was hidden in a very odd spot, I actually had to go sit down, close my eyes in a quiet room, and it was probably 20 minutes before I actually saw the vision of where the mama cat had hidden this kitten. 20 minutes. Now I can tell you in about 10 seconds flat, because I've learned how to empty out my head. This is a matter of practice, practice, practice. The more quickly you learn how to just empty out your head, the quicker you can see these visuals that animals put in there. We live on a farm with over 150 animals. I can walk up to any one of them and clear my head and hear what they're saying almost instantly now. So, first of all, take some time. Think about the animal that you want to communicate with. I want you to find a quiet place. You don't even have to have the animal there. They don't care. They can pick up on the things that you are saying, and you can pick up on what they're saying at a distance. It just doesn't matter. Sit quietly, empty out your head. The most important thing I want you to know, what you see, don't discount it. The biggest problem we have with paying attention to voices from animals on this side, the other side, spirits, angels, is that we immediately try and discount it in our heads and say, oh, that wasn't real, and attribute it to something else. Don't discount it. When you wake up and you can't remember your dream, you try and find that one little thread that you can follow and take you from point A to point B, and a little at a time you remember your dream. The animals will give you one teeny tiny little thing. I want you to grab it. I want you to believe it. I don't want you to discount it. I want you to follow it. And it's like grabbing that thread. For example, and I'll try and keep this quick, I had several people on the farm and I was working with them on animal communication. And I had them stop and talk to a horse named Susie. And afterwards I said, well, what did she tell you? Because she came up to me and she said, make them talk to me. I have a story for them. And she's like, this woman's like, oh, nothing. Nobody ever talks to me. I didn't hear anything. All I did was I saw a visual of a trailer. I just saw the horse trailer. I'm like, that's what she was trying to tell you. The reason Susie's still here is because when I brought her in as a baby and I had rescued her, she got very, very sick and she had to go to the doctors in a horse trailer. And it cost me $2,000 to get her well again. And I'm like, well, $2,000, this horse is staying. And she turned out to be a lovely little girl. But her story was the story of her ride in the trailer. And this woman had gotten it. So as tiny and as stupid and as silly and inconsequential as something may be, it actually probably means something. And I want you to grab it and I want you to follow it, because it's going to go from a beginning to an end, and they're going to tell you the story. You just have to believe them, and that's it. That's how we start paying attention and listening and learning how to communicate with animals. And once you learn how to communicate and connect with the spirit of an animal on this side, it's not all that far to connect with spirits of animals on the other side. and lots of other wonderful, wonderful spirits on both sides who really want to speak with you.
Thank you so much for sharing that information. There's so many people that love their animals, and you can take it a step further now. And the other thing I notice on the farm is every animal has a name. Every animal has an identity. It's not like, oh, look at those horses. They are like us. They have names and they have feelings and they're individuals. So
Yes.
you might look at them differently when you realize that they really like to be called by their names, right?
They do. Every one of our animals, you've noticed, come when we say their name.
With a name. I
Everyone.
really encourage you, if you could, to donate. I'm here. I see where all the funding is going to Lockett's Meadow. It's a non-for-profit.
Yes.
It would be wonderful, and then she can bring some more rescue animals in. Their stories are, it's really sad, and they're so happy to be here. They're so grateful. And Kathleen also in the room, you'll see books that she's written, and there's a new one coming out about animal communication. So the more that we are in tune and have a relationship with our planet and the animals, the better we're going to relate to people, and the better off this planet's going to be. So thank you for spending time with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.